Hi there. Welcome to another interesting webinar from Indium Software. Low code has been in the tech market radar for a while, and this has seen an uptick in the last few years. COVID has paved the way for many digital transformation projects, and we attest to the fact that low code is a great enabler in that direction. To talk more on that, we have Arun Sampath, Practice Head, Mendix Development Services. Arun is the first Mendix expert certified professional in India and one of the few hundred experts worldwide. He's a strong advocate of low-code usage for innovation and is an active member of the worldwide Mendix community. In this webinar, Arun will talk about how organizations can take advantage of low-code for application modernization with an interesting use case. May I request the participants to type their questions in the chat panel, and we can take them at an appropriate time. Thank you. Over to you, Arun.
Thanks, Mahesh. 1 year ago, we came across a client from financial services who were doing good numbers in terms of revenue for past few years, and recently their numbers went down despite on a whole the market went well for the finance industry. The client were underperforming and ended in declining consumer business. Their end customers started complaining the client operations were not transparent about the process. The wait time for each process took days, which ended in loss in business, and the revenue started declining, such as exceeding timelines for regulatory approvals and unavailability of process queue, which made the system more complex and ended in time delay. Also, their customer-facing app was pretty unresponsive, which was again a pain point due to old design systems, and the performance of the app was a real letdown. The client had two major lines of business: residential asset management and mortgage loans, special loan services. Residential asset management, which includes carrying out property inspections, working with managing agents, organizing lease renewals, and reviewing and reporting on the portfolio's performance. Mortgage borrowers can be individuals mortgaging their home, or they can be business mortgaging commercial property. For example, their own business premises, residential property let to tenants, or an investment portfolio. The lender will typically be a financial institution such as bank, credit union, or a building society. And the loan arrangements can be made either directly or indirectly through intermediaries. While one might think these concerns are raised by an organization, but the truth is the entire finance domain was facing these concerns, such as operational inefficiencies, too many systems, reliance on spreadsheets, redundancy, lack of integration, missing insights, constant workarounds, poor visibility in process flows. Many financial shared services centers still rely on manual, paper-based accounts, payable and receivable process. This unfortunately tends to cloud their view into financial information and the cash flow. Most business say that purchase orders, invoices, supplier correspondence, and supporting documentation are not easy to find, making it difficult to respond to inquiries and process payments. Another common problem is the presence of information silos. High operational cost. Any expenditure that's made for the purpose of operating a business. These expenses are day-to-day costs that helps run a business. But imagine when this becomes high and leads to less revenue outcome, which doesn't make any sense to run a profitable venture. Despite having so many constraints, there are leaders in each industry who have adopted the latest technologies such as data analytics, AI, ML, blockchain, eventually shifting to digital mortgage from traditional lending methods. Owing to these transformation, these leaders were now able to provide seamless omni-channel experience, smart contracts, and were able to provide improved profitability with process automation. When the client approached us, we did the auditing of the client system. Here's what we found. The client had 12 different applications which was designed in .NET and SharePoint to accelerate their business needs. The technology horizon on Java is drastic when compared to .NET. The legacy application developed with .NET was deployed on on-premises environments. Their architecture also involves Microsoft SQL Server as a database server. Here, the dependency with the database was much higher and needed more complex functions to be written in the store procedures. Application monitoring has to be done manually, and this consumed more resource utilization on the client's end. The app was designed to process property details, transaction history, service cost, vendor tracking, agreement documents, and approval mechanisms, among a whole lot of other salient features. But we could see this application was unfit for the digital age. They don't have a single app for all their requirements. They used many .NET SharePoint applications, and this ended up in spending high costs for development, testing, deployment, and the database maintenance. Having multiple servers resulted in paying more for licenses and bringing in more resource to manage and monitor. The applications were more specific to devices and not compatible with most devices. And finally, not a flexible and responsible user experience. Because of this, the client wanted to modernize the application. The expectation was to modernize the app ecosystem to reduce complexity of business operations, transform the experience of apps for business and client stakeholders, perform quicker transformation, centralized workflows for digital wealth management. Indium, with this vast experience of working with innovative startups and top enterprises as a trusted digital engineering partner, has built immense capability with its 2,000 engineers. Working with over 100 plus clients, Indium provides app engineering, data analytics, cloud engineering, DevOps, and digital assurance, and also specializes in low code. To this effect, Indium has built a strong partnership with Mendix and Claris for the past few years. Given that a low code is strong favorite when it comes to app modernization, we recommended Mendix for our client. Unfortunately, not all clients share our enthusiasm for low code. Over the years, we figured that this is arising predominantly from misconceptions about low code. Some of the common misconceptions are data security, that is data breaches, data loss, account hijacking, insecure APIs, malicious insiders, shared technology issues. Ability of Mendix to address compatibility issues across devices, deployment challenges, and monitoring of containers. We took the opportunity to explain our experience in using low code for successful transformation. Over the last 5 years, Indium has successfully developed and delivered more than 60 plus customized apps, which includes enterprise applications, legacy migrations, and native mobile development. More than 15 marketplace deployments on various widgets and modules. Worked across 8 different verticals such as healthcare, life sciences, insurance, logistics, legal, realty, etc. During this time, we have built Mendix skill set over 150 plus Mendix developers, out of which 100 are rapid certified, 50 are advanced certified, and we also have a dedicated R&D and Mendix Training Academy. Most of them are featured in the global Mendix leaderboard. We are also specialized in QA services such as ATS and Euphorix, which is one of the Indium's special test suite. With the army of specialists, we were able to build skills and value-added accelerators. Some notable ones are given below, such as HL7 engine for one of our healthcare client, which helped them in ease of operations, in decrypting the patient details, converting a monolithic application to multi-tenant and microservices app, native mobile application development, progressive web apps development. Also to find performance bottleneck and resolve performance issues for a life sciences client, which took hours for a process and was formalized down the line to minutes. On top of that, specialized Mendix QA automated services. Given all these expertise, the client was convinced that we do a POC in a week's time to deliver some of the features that is listed here. Data maintenance with audit, email alerts, intuitive dashboards, in-app notifications, email alerts, domain-specific add-ons customized in the app. Following the POC, we've developed the transformation roadmap for the client. The roadmap, as you can see, has two phases, design phase and the development phase. In the design phase, we do all activities ranging from understanding the app functionalities, designing the architecture, and wireframes are designed and approved by the clients. Now, in the development phase, we might do an MVP depending on the client's requirements. And some cases, this is being overridden, and deliver in an agile mode, which consists of sprints, user stories, and scrum meetings. In an incremental fashion, which can be simultaneously approved by our clients, following which we wrap up with pre and the post-deployment activities. To give you an insight into the technology details of the project, as I said, we always start with the MVP. In some cases, it depends on the customer's requirement. And we assigned one of our senior UX designer to start working on the wireframes and get it approved by the client on a mutual agreement, and start architecting the application in a fantastic way, which helped to bring in the centralized app functionality. Beyond that, we started migrating the legacy applications, which was developed using .NET and SharePoint, into a single Mendix application. The time period which took to develop this application was in 12 sprints, that is 6 months of time. We've also integrated third-party services, third-party API integrations, which consists of something similar like Outlook, email, and calendar integrations. And we also had the privilege to leverage our E4X platform for the client, which provided the same functionalities like the ATS by Mendix at a very minimal cost compared to what ATS provides. The data migration from the legacy system to the modernized application was done via the Excel documents, via Excel imports, and at the database connectors. And the synchronization was done in a fluent manner. The next one was the API services. They utilized legacy API services to maintain the interaction between the legacy application and the Mendix system. One-click deployment was followed through the entire process, which is again a highlight of using Mendix. The design system that was leveraged for this particular application was Atlas UI, again out of the box features from Mendix. Since the client had security concerns, we've also ensured all security protocols are being handled and available in Mendix are being processed and monitored. And we also ensured across all applications that we work, Mendix best practices are being followed, not on a very high level, but always on down to the roots, especially like pages, microflows, nanoflows, and etc. And we also ensured to bring in SSO features for this particular application. The approval mechanism was also followed between the two-factor authentication, and the approval scenarios were implemented in this particular application. The document templates, agreement documents were also being leveraged using DocMos's API integration, which we have also deployed in Marketplace, Mendix Marketplace. And Outlook Mail and Calendar was integrated as third-party API services for vendor communication between the systems. And all in all, the project was a huge success. As you could see that we delivered the whole project in 6 months, which the client has spent 3 years in the past. And also in terms of effort, we were able to deliver the project in 18 man-months compared to 432 man-months of the legacy system. With this, we were able to save 65% of the original cost. Here are some of the sample screenshots of the application that we built for the client. The one that you see is the sample dashboard. The second screen that you see is the transaction page where the user can submit the transactions for the manager's approval. The next one that you see here is the approval page, which displays all pending and completed tasks for the managers. While it is true that low code is simple and flexible when it comes to transformation project, there are a few areas where organizations run into roadblocks. We've listed a few. Custom widgets creation. Some of the features or functionalities were not out of the box. API integrations. Some were really complex and did not come under SOAP or as services. Database synchronization between legacy database and target database for consistency issues. Environment setup when it comes to on-premises was a bit different from the cloud services. Native mobile SSO development. As we speak, that is not available in Mendix as on today. And precisely to address these kind of complexities, Indium provides architecture services, rapid application development, data migration, and deployment services. On top of it, again, the specialized Mendix QA services like Euphorix. If you need more information what Indium can provide on Mendix services, we recommend to go through our website, and also please do not hesitate to contact me or my colleague if you have any questions. All right, now we are open for any questions.
And we have one from Nick Nicholson. He says, is it possible to generate any password protection for the document? I'm not sure which document that he's referring, but.
All right, yeah. Yes, we can generate password protected documents with customized Java actions, and also with the help of third-party services like DocMos's, which we have, in fact, we have achieved this functionality for few of our healthcare and financial applications, and we've also deployed one of the widget available in the marketplace, Mendix.
But one more, how authentication or authorization is implemented in the Mendix app?
Right. So Mendix provides role-based user access to applications built with the platform out of the box. This is because apps in Mendix consists of one or more modules, and a module typically has a functional scope. For example, items, customers, orders, while being self-contained so that it can be reused in multiple apps. Because of this distinction between the apps and modules, security aspects are defined on both levels. Application level security settings apply to all the modules within the application, and module level settings are specific to individual modules.
All right, we got one more. Deployment migration, Mendix Cloud on-premise. How easy it is, and are there complexities?
Okay, so the application deployment in on-premise is completely independent from cloud. The environment for on-premises can be chosen by the client. The deployment can also be done with the Mendix Service Console, Docker, etc. The license for on-premises environment for Mendix application has to be purchased to use the application, as in like for an enterprise version.
Okay, kindly let us know if any basic coding knowledge is required to proceed with app development using Mendix.
Sure, the answer can be simple. You can always, because Mendix is not a tough language to learn. To be honest, in our Mendix Training Academy, we focus on training Mendix resources by ingesting Java knowledge first, and then we mentor them by the academy courses provided by Mendix, and possibly within a week or 10 days, you're ready to start developing an application on your own. So it's definitely not a tough job.
How UI limitations are handled in Mendix?
It's by default, Mendix design system follows the Atlas UI, and we can always overcome the UI limitations by using JavaScript, jQueries, and widgets on the UI front. And there's also a possibility to start developing your own UI using any design systems, and also to bring in React widgets. There's always a possibility.
All right, I think we got. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we hope to catch in another interesting webinar in the future. If you're not tuned in, be sure that we will send you the recording. Until then, take care. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, and hope to talk to you soon.